Don't you just love expensive watches? I know I do. These are the most expensive Greubel Forsey watches. 11 years of development and research. The assembly of no fewer than 935 parts. The filing of 2 patents. The perfecting of an acoustic resonance cage. The installation of 11 safety features offering maximum comfort. These few details give an idea of how monumental an undertaking the creation of the first Greubel Forsey Grande Sonnerie really was. The Grande Sonnerie has 3 modes to choose from: Grande Sonnerie, which strikes the hours and the quarters in passing; Petite Sonnerie, which strikes the full hours in passing; and Silence, which does not strike in passing. The pure, crystalline chime of the Grande Sonnerie is enhanced by an acoustic resonance cage made from titanium. This timepiece represents the quintessence of Greubel Forsey's expertise and of its ideal in terms of watchmaking excellence. This Grande Sonnerie has powerful acoustics. Moreover, this timepiece is water-resistant to 3 atm. Its ergonomics ensure maximum comfort to the wearer as well as an exceptional striking power reserve. The movement is wound manually, but the striking mechanism features a self-winding system. The minute repeater and its supplementary striking mechanism chime exactly to the nearest minute on demand. In this uniquely Greubel Forsey endeavor of handmade craftsmanship, each component tells a tale. Each part has its own development process and journey that makes it unique, undergoing long hours of shaping from the raw material as it is guided by the human hand and eye. The feat begins with the regulating organ, entirely produced by hand in Greubel Forsey's workshops, including the balance spring, fashioned from an alloy produced in-house. Only a few balance springs were cast at a time, whereas in ordinary industrial production, this operation is used to obtain several hundreds of parts at once. All the movement's components are hand-finished, true to the finest watchmaking tradition, including the bridges with their polished inner and outer vertical flanks, a unique gratte main plate, and the wheels with hand-polished bevels top and bottom, 40 sharp internal angles for a 5-spoke wheel. The partly open dial is distinguished by its hand-enameled decor, paired with flame-blued hands in an exclusive shape. Intended to be produced in only 2 or 3 pieces a year, Greubel Forsey's handmade one is destined to become a new watchmaking landmark that unites both past and future. This new step towards the ultimate in fine craftsmanship is substantiated on the dial at 6 o'clock, where the inscription handmade replaces the usual Swiss-made. This timepiece marks a first, in more than one respect, for both Greubel Forsey and the history of GMT watches. After exploring the world of the tourbillon throughout the 2000s, and inventing, developing and increasing innovations at their company, Robert Greubel and Stephen Forsey have now combined it with a second complication, which they have naturally interpreted in their own way. True to their philosophy and their traditional approach, they were not content with the traditional display of a time zone by the jumping hour in an aperture or by a hand. They thus offer, as a bonus and as a first, a 3-dimensional expression of time zones in the form of a globe that makes a full rotation in 24 hours, counterclockwise. For more visual details and an observation of the southern hemisphere, a lateral window built into the case offers an equatorial view of the Earth in rotation. Spatially, everything is perfectly balanced, with a striking sense of depth offered by the globe, singularly clear, and by the tourbillon 24 seconds. The GMT caliber features the 25 degrees inclined tourbillon 24 seconds cage, one of Greubel Forsey's major patented inventions. In addition to its chronometric virtues and reliability, it was chosen for its compact size. One of the challenges of the watchmaking inventors was to provide displays that are clear and useful, without overdoing it, and to thereby simplify use of the timepiece. Greubel Forsey opened a new chapter in its history by presenting the Balancier Contemporain with particularly compact dimensions, a diameter of 39.6 mm. This was a real challenge, since it involved reducing the size of the movement in the dial all while maintaining well-balanced forms and pleasing proportions, along with clear readability and cutting-edge performance. In this compact size, the Balancier Contemporain encapsulates the Greubel Forsey universe and explores the three dimensions in detail. Featuring a multi-level dial, with a single glance it takes us on a fascinating architectural journey, where each of the unique elements has been created with an extreme attention to detail and consummate art in the finishes. The Balancier Convex S² isolates the most powerful elements of the original Balancier S and accentuates and modernizes them. Instead of soft curves and a discrete aesthetic, the Balancier Convex S² is all about contrast and power. It shares the movement of its predecessor but introduces a new case, new finishing and a new design. Greubel Forsey chose to accentuate the contrast, and therefore the legibility, of its dial, with an intense background that cuts through the balance bridge between 5 and 9 o'clock. The edges are sharp and the matte effect hand-grained finish allows the bridge and indices to stand out much more clearly. The latter have been reduced to their simplest expression, with 12 towering indices for 12 hours. Ergonomic and contemporary, the new titanium bracelet is in perfect continuity with the titanium case. The Balancier Convex S² affirms its place in the fine watchmaking of today and tomorrow as a timepiece that sacrifices nothing to the excellence of artisanal Swiss watchmaking. This new composition showcases its movement spectacularly. The gear train emerges from below the surface of the seemingly semicircular black-treated titanium bridge and extends into the hour and minute hands which tower above it. Every single component is hand-finished to Greubel Forsey criteria and thus stands out on its own, and at the same time it contributes to the striking overall aesthetic of this timepiece. The integrated and profiled lugs reinforce the compact and ergonomic character of this timepiece. They extend onto either a textured rubber strap or titanium bracelet. Only 22 double Balancier Convex timepieces will be made per year between 2022 and 2024 for a total of 66 pieces overall. There is no question that any Greubel Forsey is already a piece of horological art. It is a brand that has taken the term finish to new heights and utilizes them on some of the most sophisticated watches ever made. For the art piece edition Historique, they took it a step further and decided not to display the time prominently, but instead put the focus on their double, inclined 30 degrees tourbillon and exceptional relief micro-engraving. These micro-engravings cover most of the raised part of the dial, and can even be found on their sides. They tell the brand's values, which were penned down by Robert Greubel and Stephen Forsey when they started the brand. They not only guide the creations of each and every watch that the brand develops and make, but also add to the unique appeal of the art piece edition Historique. What is also exceptional is that there is on the dial, a small red triangle which indicates the hours, but no minute hand. The minutes are indicated by a disc, which is hidden behind part of the dial. By simply pressing on the button in the crown, a piece of the dial will slide away, and the minutes can be read. If you like this video, please don't forget to give a like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.